How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are going to discuss the cards you might want to consider getting before the release of Darkwing Blast. Before we begin, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And yesterday we have uploaded a video discussing everything you can expect in Darkwing Blast, and today, after I started testing some Kshatri-La deck profiles and deck builds and specific strategies, I wanted to kind of give you a heads up on what cards you should probably prepare to either purchase or trade for if you want to play that strategy. So of course, if you're not aware, the Kshatri-La archetype is going to be released in Darkwing Blast in the upcoming core set, and it's a very small package within the set. It's 3 main deck monsters, 1 trap, 1 spell, and 1 Xyz monster. And basically, it's a Psychic level 7 archetype with a rank 7 Xyz monster. And the whole archetype is based around banishing cards from your opponent's field or deck or extra deck face down, and kind of everything triggers and works together real well to just create like insane control mill banish deck. And I collected some cards that you might want to keep an eye out on that could potentially be worth getting if you want to play this strategy, because these might be playable. Some are 100% and some of them are maybe a question mark, but still they are still at a point where they are relatively cheap. So I'm gonna get a few of these just to be ready in case somebody actually breaks this build and I need to get a hands on some of these cards. So the goal for this deck basically is 2 things. 1, utilize level 7 monsters to the best of your ability. That means using them for rank 7 Xyz monsters, special summoning, and banishing cards in general. So the first thing is going to be a card that you might have not heard of ever, but it's called the Ascendant of Thunder, and it's a Thunder level 7 light monster that says you can special summon this card by paying 3,000 life point. If this card is summoned this way and is destroyed by an opponent's card by battle or card effect, you gain 5,000 life points. So the basic reasoning behind this card, it's a level 7 that you get to special summon to your board. So all the Kshatri-La main deck monsters have an effect that says that if you control no monsters, you can special summon them from the hand. So this one is good because it doesn't have any requirement. You can already control a monster on the field and just get a free level 7 to the field. So I think this might be really interesting, and I've seen it in builds going around, and it's a dirt cheap card. So if you want to get to that rank 7 as soon as possible, you should definitely play this in your deck. Another level 7 that special summons itself is Segmental Dragon, and what it says is that you can normal summon it without tributing for free, but its original attack and defense become halved. It also has another effect, which is a quick effect that you can destroy this face-up card, and if you do, destroy all monsters in the main monster zone with attack less or equal to the attack it had on the field. So basically, again, the second effect less relevant. The first effect basically means that you can just normal summon it for free as a level 7 monster and keep extending for that rank 7. The goal is always to get to the rank 7 as quick as possible. And again, another monster that does that really well is Miradora, and it's actually a Starlight rare from Blazing Vortex, and the activation and effect of this card's effects cannot be negated, which is really cool. If your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's a good negate, but it's also a level 7, and all of these are like pretty beefy, right? So again, Miradora from Blazing Vortex, you might want to consider getting this. Another level 7 that I think is probably the worst one, but still worth noting, is Mekk-Knight Red Moon. You can just special summon it from the hand if there are 2 or more cards in the same column. You know Mekk-Knight mechanics. So I think that this in a clutch could be really helpful to get another body on the board. And Danger Dogman alongside with Danger Nessie are both level 7 monsters. So again, Nessie is obviously really good, and if it stays unlimited in the next ban list, you can play 3 Dogman, 3 Nessie, and it's really effective to just get 7s on the board. And another free 7 is Wandering Griffin Rider alongside with Illegal Knight as well, which if you control no monsters, they can both special summon themselves from the hand. But the catch is that it conflicts a little bit with the Kshatri-La monsters that require you to have no monsters. So unless you're running the Brave package and it can actually reliably do all of these effects, then it might not be the best solution. And the last main deck monster is, of course, Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Not a lot to say about that. Level 7 special summons itself from the hand if your opponent controls more monsters than you. And a card that was probably last played in Dragon Rulers, but should be relevant here as well. Sacred Sword of 7 stars. It says that you can banish one level 7 monster from your hand or face up from the field, and you draw 2 cards. So again, this is like a trade-in for the deck. Extra draw power always needed, and I think the spiciest tech here is gonna be Instant Contact. A new card out of Power of the Elements that says you can pay 1000 life points, special summon 1 level 7 or lower elemental hero or neospatial monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. The rest doesn't matter, and you can summon monsters like Grand Neos, which can actually bounce a card from your opponent's field, or for example Aqua Neos that can rip a card out of your opponent's hand, and they are both level 7. So again, a free level 7 on the board, not free, 1000 life points, worthy cost. These are really good because they actually have really good effects, and also it ignores their summoning conditions, so you can actually bring them to the field. And then we get to the Xyz monsters, and I think the most important one that is going to be 100% played in this deck is number 89, Diablosis the Mind Hacker. Previously a YCS prize card, but today it recently got a reprint. I think it was January or November of last year in Brothers of Legend. You got a secret rare reprint, really cool. And I think this is in combination with the Kshatri-La engine that banishes face up. This has the most synergy, and of course being level 7, it's no coincidence that this card exists. What it says: soft once per turn, you can detach one material, you could look at your opponent's extra deck and banish one monster from it face down. It also has a battle effect. If it destroys a monster by battle, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it face down, and if a card your opponent owns is banished face down, like all the Kshatri-La monster effects, or the spell card that banishes 3 from the graveyard face down, you can banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck face down equal to their face down banished cards. So let's just say, for example, that your opponent has activated Pot of Desires. They have 10 face down banished cards. Then you can also, when the monster effect is activated, banish one face up card from your opponent's field face down with the Fenrir. Then you can also block an opponent's monster zone with the Shangri-La, and then with Diablosis you just banish an additional 10 cards face down from the top of your opponent's deck. And each time this effect activates, it doubles, right? Next time you're going to banish a card face down, it's going to banish 20 cards or 22 cards because your opponent will already have 22 cards banished face down. So finally, this YCS prize card gets a home where it can actually abuse its powers. And again, not a hard once per turn. This is a soft once per turn. If you have 2 copies, and you can activate both of them in the same turn. So Diablosis is my 100% bet that this card is going to be played in the deck. A few other cool rank 7s that you should be aware of. We have Dracosac, of course. You can detach a material from this card, special summon 2 tokens, you contribute a token, pop a card on the field. Really good utility. The next card is going to be number 79, Harmonizer Gradiel. It has a weird attribute changing effect, but the gist is that it has a quick effect. You can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, detach a material from this card, then attach that target to this card as material. This is kind of insane, especially against Tier Elements. Tier Elements monster activates its effect in the graveyard. You just quick effect, attach it to this monster in exchange of one material, and you just fizzle the effect altogether. So I think this is going to be played 100% as well. This is really good, a really good rank 7 that does a lot, especially in the upcoming Tier Elements and Shizu formats. Then you have a few other nice to haves. You have the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider. Again, rank 7, once per turn you can detach 2 materials, target one face-up card in the field, destroy it, and it has a attack manipulation effect as well. So basically this is a pop, and it's also a quick effect if this has a dragon as material. And if you are playing Miradora, it might actually have a dragon as material. And the last card is Dark Antillian Dragon. It's a Pendulum Xyz rank 7, and it says that once per turn you can detach one material from this card as a quick effect, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, half its attack until the end of the turn. This card also gains the attack that monster lost, and when it's destroyed, you can place it in the Pendulum Zone. It also has a cool Pendulum Zone effect when it can have an attack of an opponent's monster until the end phase as well. So yeah, I think these are the cards that I would definitely look towards. These are all, I think maybe the only exception might be Instant Contact, which is like a few bucks, but everything else has a really good chance of being played in the deck, and you want to be ready because not all OCG builds transfer the same way to the TCG. We saw it with Tier Elements where they just introduced Danger and Curious and Griffin when it came to the TCG, and nobody in the OCG played those cards. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this list. Are there any cards you would play in Kshatri-La that I didn't mention in this video? Make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.